Hello, y'all. Hey, this is Tim Nutt here, and this series of homework lessons will be from Paul McCorder's new and improved Arduino series. I took this less series of tutorials about a year ago, I guess, and I learned a lot. And Paul is a very amazing teacher. Teach right from the ground up, right from beginner. You can come in with no prior knowledge whatsoever, and take his lessons, and he understands everything in a step-by-step building block process to help you come from zero programming Arduino circuit experience all the way up to being able to do some very complex projects. And I just this is actually an idea what he came off from his Pico W tutorial series of making a video about doing the homework and the lessons. So I'm going back and I'm going to do that, take the Arduino tutorials again and do all the homework for them all the way through. It may take a little while to complete because I'm a truck driver and I don't always have a full day to set. I just have to do a little here, a little there while I can. But I wanted to come at them from an absolute beginner standpoint and make the homework videos only based on what he has taught thus far in the series. So that if you wanted to follow along with the homework lessons, you can see how to do it using uh, only what's been taught thus far. There's in later lessons there'll be way more efficient and quote better ways, more advanced, I guess not better, but more advanced ways of coding and doing the homework. But not everybody that's going to be going through these tutorials is going to have that knowledge and experience already. So I want to go through and show the homework assignments from a complete beginner's perspective, pretending like I know nothing about it and going through step by step in each lesson. I'll make a homework video for the homework assignment and post it. So if you go through and you watch, there'll be links in the description. You watch that lesson from Paul McCorder, and then you can come and watch my video on the homework for that lesson. And I hope it'll be a help to someone, because I remember a couple years ago, 40-year-old truck driver, never been to college. I'd had some electronics experience. I'm a ham radio operator since I was a teenager and built some radios. So I have a basic grasp on electronics and components, but I'd never done any programming, and it's something that's always interested me. And I stumbled across Paul McCorder's tutorials, and they've been a real blessing to me. I've been through several different ones of them, and will be continuing to go through as I have opportunity. So, but I remember a lot of you go and Google how to do part of a homework or how to do this. You come up with all these in-depth and advanced ways of coding, which is great. That's what we're all aspiring and working toward, being that proficient and knowledgeable. But from a complete beginner, the methods used in that way of doing the code might not have been taught yet. They're coming in a future lesson as he's building from the ground up. So I'm going to do all mine, uh, keeping in mind using only the methods and ideals that have been taught thus far in the series, so that you can follow along and step by step build your skills and confidence and abilities up. So, and to this is the very first lesson. And this lesson, the homework was to make the internal LED blink on the Arduino Uno. And let's see how fast we can get that pin to blink to where we can still visually see that it's blinking and not just being dim where we can actually visually see that it and capture the blinking. So without further ado, let's go over and he shows how to hook up and download the software, and I'll get started with the code and everything in his lesson. I'm not going to go over that, but we'll be using the what he's taught in that lesson to do this. So first, we need to set up our pin, which in this case we're using pin 13, which is connected to the internal LED on the Arduino. So we need to do a pin mode, not capital. The M is capital. Pin mode, and we're using pin 13, comma, and it's going to be an output, all capitals. And close that off, and don't forget your semicolon. For this one, this is all we need in setup. So down in the loop, let's just make sure we can turn the LED on. So we need to do a digital write, and it's going to be pin 13, and we're going to make that high to turn it on. Put a semicolon. Let's run, just make sure we can turn it on, then we'll turn it back off. Make sure it works. Okay, there our LED is on. The orange one right there. That one will be on. Now let's turn it back off and hit upload again. And now the LED's off. Good. So now to make it blink, we're going to do a delay. We're going to turn this back on high first, so it'll turn on. And then delay. And we'll start off with just to watch it blink. Now we'll play with the numbers. We'll say 500 milliseconds, which is half a second. And then another DIGIT digital write, pin 13 low to turn it off. And another delay, 500. And that should get it to blink half a second on, half a second off. So there we go. There it's blinking, half a second on, half a second off. Good deal. So far, so good. So let's just speed this up a little bit, and let's bring it to 50 milliseconds and see if we can still see it blink there. Yep, I can see it. The camera can see it. Now, the camera may vary from what I can personally see. I'll point that out when we get to that point. And here a little bit, I apologize for the poor quality cameras and video. My amazing wife is buying me a new webcam with zoom and focus for Valentine's Day. That next time I get home, it should already be there. I can pick it up and we'll start having better quality when we get into some more in-depth circuits and everything. So we'll do, let's drop it down, say, to 30 milliseconds and see if we can still see it blink there. All right. I can still visually see it. The camera's still picking it up. All right, let's try 20 milliseconds. See what we get there. Okay, I can visually see it blink. It doesn't look like it's really showing on the camera, but I think if I think with the frame rate will play nice if it did like it did earlier. I think if we drop it down to 15 milliseconds, there might be just enough where the camera can pick that up. Yes, it does. And I can still just barely visually see it blinking on my end, but the camera is picking up a blink, so you know it is still blinking. And that, so we're going to use 15 for our number for the homework solution. That's as low as we can really see it. It gets down below that, like even down to 10. The camera might pick it up from FPS, but it's not really going to be accurate. Or at least my eyesight's not good enough to see it. Nah, it doesn't really even show it in the camera. So we'll go back to 15, and that's where we'll leave it for this homework assignment. Go back, double check, make sure it's working good again. And there it is. So, and all right, I want to thank everybody for watching, and hopefully this will help beginners along the way. Now this is a fairly simple homework assignment. They'll definitely be getting more in depth as the lessons progress, but that's to be expected. You're learning new things and getting more proficient at them. They're going to get harder, and if programming was easy, everybody would be doing it. But it can be. Paul McCorder is an amazing teacher, and I really appreciate him and his willingness to teach and provide his lessons free of charge to anyone that wants to learn. So we'll see y'all next time. Thank you again for watching, and we'll catch y'all next video. Bye for now.